All right, it's cold. It's cold outside. Bo and the young buck Kevin dragged me out here today for a new gold adventure. Let me show you Bo and the young buck. All right, you guys remember Bo from an earlier video. He was actually on his property. Bo looks like he's poor. He's actually rich. Bo's got a lot of land. He's land rich.
I wish.
He wears that flannel shirt and you think he's a poor man, but he's not. He's got the money and he's got the land. But Bo was walking around on property and found this big ditch, big gully that runs through the property. And I don't think you can get a very good perspective on it, but here it is. And I was actually sampling in the clay bank and in the ditch line and found gold. Now the problem is, as Bo will tell you right quick, what? A lack of what?
Lack of water.
Lack of water. That's why we have who?
Hendo hardtack.
Hendo hardtack. Kevin the young buck. Bo and I are old and broken down, but Kevin's a young buck, and we decided to capitalize on him being young and dumb and strong. So we're going to see what we can do about finding some gold. Maybe do a little video series on this and see if there's anything worth digging in this ditch. I do want to tell you though, and I'm not sure he's got it with him or not, but he dug what, a 5-gallon bucket or half a bucket or something, Bo?
Yeah, 5-gallon bucket.
5-gallon bucket, and found a couple of nice pickers. You have them with you by any chance?
I don't have them with me.
All right. A couple of nice pickers in that.
Hopefully by the end of the day we'll have some.
All right, so we're going to go explore around a little bit and see what our options are going to be, and then start another series here on how to get gold the hard way. Let's go get it.
Let's go get it.
All right. All right, this is one of the gullies where Bo was digging and found some gold. If you look, you can see it's layered, it's streaked. Right where he's digging right now is an area where he found some color. Right below it, show the streak across there, Bo. Yeah, right there. There you go, right there. There's a big, really dark mineralized area, higher iron content. And then below that, this rock, this actually looks like old pegmatite. And it's weathered so bad, it's fairly soft.
Yeah, most of your gold's locked up into the red, and then this gravel layer that runs across here, runs all the way across.
Right there in the gravel.
Right there in the gravel.
That's where you find the good stuff?
Good color.
All right. Here's a close-up of that rock he just chiseled out of there. It's old pegmatite. You can see the muscovite, the biotite mica, and some quartz and feldspar in there. And there's a rock layer that goes across. I'll try to move this fairly slow. That's where he just chiseled that rock out. And you can see the quartz veins and the manganese, the black manganese veins. This area is really, really highly mineralized. The area that he's breaking up right now is really soft pegmatite. It's just saprolite. It's worn out. It's decomposed and rotted away.
Down at Abbeville, we found the gold. It was in this rock layer, the gravel layer, where it was locked up at. And one day, 17 ounces of gold come out of the ground.
In that same type of rock?
Out of the gravel layer, yep.
The gravel layer looked just like this.
Looks just like this.
Well, maybe we'll get lucky down here.
tourmaline crystals.
It's what?
Tourmaline.
All right.
Fine.
Cool.
Like a little bit bigger than strands of hair.
All right, this just shows that this area is really mineralized. We're gonna walk on down the gully line. I know it's hard to capture this in video, but this is what it looks like. Not cold now, are you?
No. I'm sweating. I'm about 34 degrees and sweating.
All right, let's go on down the gully line.
I'd got down to it a little bit, and I see one small piece right here, the top left of my pan.
All right,
So
a lot of black sand, a little garnet.
black sand.
Garnet material too. Garnet sand, black sand and mud. Looks like we're gonna have a fun time getting out the gold. We don't have a lot of water most of the time unless we just had some rain like we have here. South Carolina, it's rained for 90 days and 90 nights, so we've got a little trickle of water. Most of the time it's empty, but we got a lot of gravel. Water being the main thing that's going to make it difficult to get this gold.
Let's spin one and pan one. What you're looking at here, these mounds, is old tailing piles that come out of the mines off the top of the hill. They was brought down in here in the 40s to be worked, and during the war they shut down all the gold mines and all these tailings was left behind. They never got worked, so there's good gold in these tailing piles if you want to spend the time to dig them out and work them.
All rock, all quartz rock.
We've got 5 documented mines that's on my property. Got roughly 98 acres in here. And there's a lot of gold mines that hadn't been documented. But if you look as Gary pans around, you see just piles. Every one of these piles is just piles of quartz rocks that's never been worked. You can actually see where the iron pyrite has eroded out of this quartz rock. It is perfect quartz or iron pyrite cubes.
Perfect cube right there. Wow. That's weathered out. See another one on the right. Yeah, right here where your finger is. Right there. Another perfect cube. That is too cool.
Oh man, it's got that.
Okay, here's an old mine shaft on Bo's property here. I see some bats in here. No shoring of any kind. We'll get a closer look at the wall here. Okay, here's the material. Actually, you can see quartz veins in here, but this is soft. All this is soft. This old pegmatite is so rotten. It's unbelievable. You think he was following these veins right here, Bo? Or what?
I believe they was following the veins. But as they went through, you know, they was getting gold out of the material.
So you think they were pulling out of here and then washing it?
Yeah, and washing it.
I don't know if you can see it or not. And we don't want to molest it in any way, but there's a bat. A little bat dew all over the body of it. Cool. All Well, we have one more bat right here. And we're gonna walk on back. Bo's away down, and Kevin's back at the back, bringing up the rear. All right, here's two more bats right here.
Yeah, there's a bunch of bats on back in here.
They're all in here.
Look at the color and the roof.
Man, that's beautiful. Look at all the quartz and all the different veins and material. And look at all the oxides. Wow.
There's quartz stringers everywhere.
And there's holes dug here off to the side, just different areas. Looks like where he was trying to follow something. Follow a gold vein.
You got it.
I don't know. That's a real good quartz string. There we go. Quartz vein right there. Back in this rock too.
You see places that's dug like this here. You know, they was following this quartz stringer, but they also dug out places to set their lantern so they'd have light to see the work by.
There you go.
Beautiful quartz stringer right here. Beautiful. Unfortunately, I've got a light that's not cooperating today.
Yeah, great strobe light.
Yeah.
There's the shelf. Let's see. Yeah, nice quartz. All right, here's a good quartz stringer that Bo was talking about. It just walks right up that wall. See if I can get a better shot of it. It just keeps on going. Wow, oh yeah, it's all the way across. On up through here. Oh, it goes all the way across. You can see the layers. You may want to grab,
Another nice quartz.
take your hammer and just get on either side of that quartz stringer right there and get some of that quartz, some of the material on either side of that, Kevin. Put it in a Ziploc bag and see if there's anything in there. Yeah, there's some nice quartz.
You can see where they dug a trench, tried to drain the water out of the back of the mine.
There you go, all hand dug. It really opens up in here. Wow, look at all the mineralization. You got quartz stringers in here. You got big patches of iron oxide, rusted out areas. It really opens up here. That's the end of it?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me pan that way.
What goes to the right there?
Nothing. It's just dug out right there.
Okay, so that's the end of it, and then the shaft, there was another shaft they started above and tried to come straight down and intersect it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, there's the back of it. See if I can zoom in on that just a little bit.
That water's about waist deep out through there.
The zoom just goes too fast. That's why I hate a zoom. All right.
And that's deep. That's waist deep.
Yeah, that's a two deep holes right there. Shine it all the way at the back. There you go. Too cool. Bo just made the comment, it's really warm in here. It is. Outside it's a cold day, but inside this shaft feels like it's 70 degrees or more. It's really nice. You could work in the winter, no problem. Well, that's a big open area here. But it's not hard rock mining. This is very ancient Cambrian, Precambrian rock. Alright, we're making our way out. Whoa. Almost fell. That wouldn't be good, but the water's warm anyway. At least the water is warm.
Yeah, but yeah, the big one we wanted to take a sample on the way out. There's nothing but.
Doing the best I can, folks, trying to video and hold the camera too and walk. All right, we're home free. Home again. All right.
34 degrees outside, 80 degrees in here. I can get in behind it, dig the gravel, looser stuff.
What'd you say, bud?
There's an iron pyrite cube.
Give the camera a minute to focus on it. Yeah, we're not doing too good. Let me see if I can get another shot of it here. Yeah, perfect little cube. Laminate pyrite. It's all in the rock here. Big piece of rosy quartz. Not rose quartz like you find at the gem store. This is just mineralized, iron colored. See how red looking the rock is compared to the other rocks? I don't know if the camera shows that or not, but it's there. And here's another weathered out cube. It doesn't looks like it's also pyrite too. It doesn't look like it would have been a garnet based on the shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. All right, Kevin, did you find anything?
No.
Down there at last pan?
No, didn't find too much.
All right, so what have you learned so far?
Well, to keep digging.
Keep digging?
Keep digging, keep finding it.
Okay, I mean,
Trying to get on it.
Bo found a little, a little fly poop here and there, but just digging around right here. We're not actually in the gully where we were earlier, so
Right.
we found those pockets and we're finding actually a lot better gold.
Well, we're just doing a little bit of test panning here and taking samples just to see if any of it's washed down, where we can really get down and bring in something if we needed to, a little bit of equipment or something. But right now, I don't see no need in doing that down this far.
All right, sounds like a plan. Let's go up to where we were, stay up there in the ditch, and dig.
And dig. And do some digging and digging and digging.
Okay, I don't know if the camera will capture it, but these are big tailings right here, big tailing piles. And Bo says we're at one of the pits, adits or whatever, on this piece of property we have rented. We've got 25, 30 acres, I think, rented also adjoins his property. So I'm going to walk up to where those guys are, up here, and let's see what they're looking at. Jeez Louise, what a hole. Whoa.
Come around so you can lean up on the tree.
around here.
Okay. Wow. All right, let me try to get this from a different angle. All right, you think it's shot enough? The tree?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Don't get too close there.
All right, I won't get too close.
Gave off.
All right. Whoa, I'm looking straight down. Man, it's almost perfectly square cut.
I know it.
I don't know how deep that goes, but that one was trying to intersect the shaft we were in earlier. We're going straight down.
Hold on, I'll give it a stick test.
How deep? How deep? You got a wild guess?
About 55 feet right there.
Too close.
Kevin threw down a stick. He says it's 55 feet.
I think we put a rangefinder on it and it's around about 54, 55
Really?
feet. Yeah.
Wow. That's one serious hole there. Well, I wish I could get a better shot of it. There you go.
Yeah, I got a glare on.
You can come around here.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So we got this property leased, and there's pits all over the place they've dug. Also, I guess just checking to see what kind of gold they can find. Here's another one right here. So we got a good promising site. Alright, I'm looking at a giant pine tree now. Kind of lean over the caution tape here. See if I can get a look at it from this angle. I don't see any rock.
Well,
You see any rock?
your gravel layer's right here.
Oh, where? Up high?
It's up high.
All right, go walk around
And I
in.
can't understand why they went so deep unless they was following a stringer going down
We're trying to intersect the other shaft.
or intersecting another shaft. But there's several of these that just everywhere around through here, but all of them been filled in, but this one.
Cool. Okay, I don't see any gravel in the shaft as you go down. Actually, I see some right here. Bo just pointed out. There's a gravel layer right there, but it's fairly close to the surface. But as you go down, look down into the shaft, down the walls of the shaft, I don't see any other gravel. I'm not sure what they were chasing. Alright, so what you're actually saying is this shaft right here is like, say, a sun or a center of a wheel, spoked wheel.
Yeah.
And then off, going in every direction, as you can see, there's
Pop 'em
ditches.
down.
There's where they dug straight down, or there's
Straight
ditches,
down. But the
ditches.
ditches is run, all the ditches that they dug out
right?
lead to this spot.
All run right to here, like spokes of wheels. So you think they were following gravel layers?
Following gravel layers of the gold. And when they got up here, basically what they was looking for was the vein itself. So they started popping straight down.
Straight down. And right over here you see is another hole?
Yep, there's several. If you just walk around, you see the piles.
Yeah.
And when you walk up on the pile, you look over and you see a hole. But most all of them been filled in, but this one.
Cool, cool.
Not to say there's probably a few more down through here that we hadn't found yet.
Okay.
On the back side over yonder, there's deep ones.
I'm just sitting here taking it all in. You know,
A young buck taking it all in.
it gets to me sometimes.
All right.
It gets to me.
It's pretty staggering, I'm going to tell you right now. That was the amount of work that went
A
here
lot of
Yes.
work.
into this, and you know they weren't digging all these holes for nothing. So,
There's a couple of horses, I know that.
and that ditch that we're digging actually is just down from this.
Yeah.
So, actually the ditch is between this hole and the earlier hole.
And the earlier one.
So we should be in a good spot for gold. All right, let's continue walking around, see what we can find. Okay, here's another shaft Bo's talking about. It's been filled in, and there's actually road leading up to it. So carts, mule, horse-drawn, whatever carts or whatever they used, could come down here. And you say this giant shaft was actually shored up with wood?
So far down, during the war efforts, they closed the mine down, and they went in and laced timbers in there. so after the war they can come back and reopen it. But in the meantime, companies went bankrupt,
Right.
and they never come back to them. And this putwaters in here, they just fill them up over time. So this here, I mean, man could get down in there digging around, it could collapse.
Well, I'm not going to stand off down in there, but that's a pretty big basin here.
Yeah, and you see the to the right of you, that whole hillside, all that come out of the ground.
Yeah, this whole area right here, we're within what, 50 feet of the deep shaft we looked at a while ago, and this looks like a moonscape out here. There's pits that have been filled back in, that were actually where they were digging for gold. And of course you see the hills all over the place, which were tailings or material they dug out. Alright, there's rock piles everywhere. Oops, going the wrong way. I'm going to zoom off. And they've been brought in here and staged, piled up, just huge mounds of rocks. All around. And like Bo says, it's all solid rock. Except for all the pine needles. And the question is, did they stage this here to crush it? Or is this material that they've just removed in an effort to chase the gold? I don't know, it's all quartz. But there's just huge piles of this all over the property. So anybody has a clue, I'd love to know. I'm looking at all the quartz here. I'm going to take a little closer look. I don't see anything special about it. Anything that would make me want to crush it. It's not highly mineralized or anything. But there's a lot of it. We are back where we started, back on Bo's property right here at the ditch. Okay, we know we have no water. We know it's too far to get to water. So what's the plan? What do you think? What's your idea, Bo?
Well, let's went some 5-gallon buckets out. Carry them, load them up on 4-wheeler, carry them to the creek and work them.
Sounds like a good idea. What do you think, Kevin?
I think it was all good stuff.
Good stuff. Kevin's stuffing his face. The young buck has to stay fueled up. Okay, well, it looks like we may have a plan here. What we're going to do is put some kind of lift out here across the gully, maybe tied to a tree or something, and dig in the bank in those rocky veins, follow those veins, throw that material into 5-gallon buckets, carry it a short distance over land to a 4-wheel drive, and then take the materials off site somewhere to process it, right? Okay, well, that sounds like a plan to me. Alright, this is part 1, the intro video of the first of the series. You guys wish us luck. Hope we get on the gold. We gonna find it?
We're gonna get it.
Alright, Kevin. Alright, till next time. I got you. Alright, the young buck, Hindu, voodoo, hoodoo, voodoo, hoodoo. What do you call yourself?
Hindu hardpack.
Hindu hardpack is taking a rope down to the bottom of the ditch. He can't stand it. He's going to go down there and dig around, get some dirt, I guess, to take home and see what he can find. Alright, Hindu hardpack, find something. That's a deep gully. I mean, it's deep. Yeah, he's a young buck. He's Superman. I love watching this, don't you, Bo?
I do too. I like to watch somebody else work.
We can watch you work all day, Kevin.